The memorial for NYPD Detective Brian Simonsen is growing at the 102nd Precinct in Queens, where the veteran member of the NYPD spent 19 years. In the Long Island community where he lived, the neighbors tied blue ribbons around trees in his honor. Tonight, we have new information about the robbery suspect at the center of the investigation as police detail the chaotic seconds when the shots were fired. We have team coverage tonight on this tragedy of friendly fire. We start with CBS 2's Alice Gaynor live at the scene in Richmond Hill. Alice.
Dana, it's been almost exactly 24 hours since this happened, and as you can see behind me, officers, detectives still very busy processing this scene. This is very much an ongoing investigation. They're actually inside the T-Mobile store right now taking photographs, looking at the windows. There's shattered glass and evidence markers still on the ground. And as the city mourns the loss of this detective, police are releasing more details about what exactly happened. 42 shots in 11 seconds. That's how many bullets police say were aimed at suspect 27-year-old Christopher Ransom last night.
You have officers outside the store, some to the right of the store, some to the left of the store, firing towards the store.
And while sources tell us 8 of those bullets hit Ransom, 1 hit Detective Brian Simonsen in the chest, killing him.
This happens in seconds. It goes from 0 to 60. You're investigating a possible crime, and all of a sudden someone's charging at you, pointing what you believe to be a firearm, simulating firing at you. It raises everything very quickly.
Last night, Detective Brian Simonsen and Sergeant Matthew Gorman were out conducting surveillance on an unrelated case when a call came in for an armed robbery at the T-Mobile store. Police say they went to assist other officers voluntarily.
It's going to be a gunpoint robbery at the T-Mobile. He's got a duffel bag. He's about 5'10", medium build. Says he saw the guy take 2 employees to the back of the location.
The 2 arrived at the same time as 6 other uniformed officers.
The perpetrator comes from the back of the location, that office, and he presents himself with the firearm pointed in the direction of the officers.
Christopher Ransom charged at the officers with a gun raised, simulating firing at those officers.
Police say 7 officers, including Detective Simonsen and Sergeant Gorman, fired their weapons. Ransom's gun, police say, turned out to be a fake.
The scene is caused by a man charging at police officers. We say advancing, he was moving quickly at police officers, pointing a gun at them. The blame goes to that individual.
Suspect Christopher Ransom has a long rap sheet. Just last month, police say he pulled the same move at a phone store a few miles away in South Jamaica.
When he took the gun out and pointed at me, I looked at the gun, and it did look fake, but I couldn't take any chance.
That store manager says he handed over iPhones and cash. Ransom has been arrested 25 times, including for criminal impersonation of police. In these photos, you see Ransom wearing a fake FBI jacket, in another, a police badge. He even pleaded guilty to lying about being a college student to get an internship and access restricted areas of Brooklyn Supreme Court. A Ransom family rep had this to say today outside of his mother's home in Brownsville, where she claims he hasn't lived for about a year.
This is a mother who was 77, who is now trying to wrap her head around what has taken place.
Most of Ransom's cases are sealed, but looking at public records, it appears that he has served at least 5 months in jail. Now, police also mentioned that Detective Simonsen was not wearing a bulletproof vest at the time, though they do say it is department policy to do so. They also add that officers receive training at gun ranges every 6 months and are taught things like how to avoid crossfire. But they say in a situation like this, everything happens so quickly, and this all happened in less than a minute. We're live tonight in Richmond Hill, Queens. Alice Gaynor, CBS 2 News.